For Black people in particular, do you think that we can truly make change as things are right now?
Yet again, for individuals of color specifically, how about that we genuinely make change as things are correct now? Well, beginnings in the home. Since the introduction of the movie business in the mid 20th, 100 years out of the great many entertainers that have ignored during that time, there are only a not many that can genuinely be viewed as perfect, from Charlie Minister Katherine Hearn and Humphrey Bogart to Elizabeth Taylor and Carrie Award. There are just a specific number of entertainers who have risen above the domains of Hollywood and carved their names into godlike status in present-day movie. That choice of entertainers is a much more uncommon where, making the people who are individuals from this restrictive club ostensibly considerably more exceptional. Denzel Washington is one such name that will always be deified, not similarly as a star on the walkway of Hollywood Road, yet is quite possibly of the main entertainer in Hollywood history, the entertainer or lobbyist. Giver and family man has been a significant piece of Hollywood for 5 unique many years, having made his big screen debut in 190 He has featured in more than 50 element films during this time. Denzel has seen a ton in and around Hollywood, including the now notorious Jeffrey Epstein list. Fortunately, or rather true to form, he isn't one individual's on the rundown yet, has he said about it. And what is this rundown in any case when lender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his prison cell from an August 10, 2019, his passing filled in as a stunning trick-rousing capstone to a generally profoundly upsetting arrangement of criminal accusations. Epstein, a conspicuous money manager, donor, guest, numerical academic, and more, had associations traversing the domains of legislative issues, financial aspects, and money. As the Sydney Morning Messenger revealed, he made monetary portfolios for the ultra-rich and fraternized with elites, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, at different series possessed properties across the world, including 2 entire Virgin Islands, and was blamed for coordinating an underage straying ring, including up to 80 young ladies that elaborate day-to-day needs and sue acts. And just to finish things off, he was enormous into genetic counseling and cryogenics, and needed to seed humanity with his DNA, per the Sydney Morning Envoy, until as of late almost 950 pages of court records connected with Epstein were kept to some extent redacted. Now the conduits have opened, and those reports are distinguishable online through destinations like The Watchman. At last, there's not much of new significant data. There's loads of implication and name-dropping, however, which won't be great for the connivance factory. That being said, Epstein apparently had contact for certain unforeseen people like Michael Jackson and David Copperfield, and Denzel doesn't appear to be stunned pretty much this thinking about how underhanded he believes the business to be before the momentum 950 pages of reports in regards to Jeffrey Epstein's court procedures were unlocked. We definitely realize that previous President Bill Clinton had dealings with a shamed money year, as the BBC frames Clinton utilized Epstein's personal luxury plane to go and make excursions to the African landmass in the beginning of the Clinton establishment. Following the finish of his official term, the Clinton establishment site says that the association sent off its absolute first drive in 2002 to assist African and Caribbean nations with creating therapy plans for those experiencing HIV. Helps, as the public survey reports, the previous president involved Epstein's plane multiple times altogether. Yet there is more that is just fine. Yet people might ask, okay, yet for what reason utilize Epstein's plane? Well, don't know. That plane, by the way, was named the Lolita Express by news sources concerning creator Vladimir Nabokov's questionable 1955 novel containing Pilia. Another source clears up that Epstein not just involved vetted for fly unmistakable individuals around, yet additionally involved it for his claimed illegal sue exercises. One stunning subtlety that presumably left Denzel dazed is the consideration of Michael Jackson discussing people with risky narratives in regards to associations with Diggers. MJ name generally springs up now. It actually does, even in death before he kicked the bucket in 2009. The Lord of Pop had long persevered through the talk factory in regards to his purportedly improper association with kids. In 2005, the New York Times detailed that Jackson was vindicated of molestation charges against a 13-year-old kid and disease survivor. Before that, And a while later, a lot of individuals, including his previous servant, blamed the unbelievable vocalist for being a constant kid Mr. The reality of such claims to the side, this is to say, assuming anybody looks terrible having a say in Jeffrey Epstein. It's Michael Jackson, fortunately, however, despite the fact that the recently unveiled court tries notice the thrill ride hitmaker, they just do that, notice him, as the report says, and the message portrays this data comes from supposed casualty Johanna Scherg, in a discussion that additionally name-dropped undeniably popular performer David Copperfield. Scherg was asked where or not she'd met anyone renowned when she was with Epstein. Michael Jackson was the primary individual, all things being equal, and she said she met him at one of Epstein's homes in Palm Oceanside. When found out if she read of the artist, Scherg said no, and that was that. Scherg announced being pressured into giving continuous back rubs to Epstein that included later. The questioner again finds out if she gave Michael Jackson a back rub, and she essentially rehashes no, and assuming you believed Epstein's rundown just included men, reconsider. It is said that any semblance of Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg are among those referenced. The rundown likewise includes an assorted cluster of people from different areas including George Lucas, Marvin Minsky, Alan Dershowitz, Michael Jackson, David Copperfield, Pope John Paul, I. Ruler, Jean-Luc Brunel, Leslie Wexner, Tom Pritzker, Bill Richardson, Al Carnage, and Stephen Peddling, among others. Epstein began his profession in New York City as a numerical educator at the tip-to-pop Dalton School, yet during the 1970s, he went to work at the venture bank Bear Stearns prior to establishing his own firm J. Epstein and Company in 1982. As per Vox, he explicitly promoted his administrations to those with resources worth more than $1 billion and worked his organization out of the U.S. Virgin Islands for charge reasons. While Epstein gave off an impression of being affluent, residing in a monstrous condo and giving huge amounts of cash to a wide assortment of causes and organizations, the wellspring of his cash was dependably dark. He has been broadly called a tycoon, yet Forbes debates the case, saying that he was more probable worth a negligible part of that. And when Epstein kicked the bucket, Kitty was valued at $577 million as per Will Sign. Only 2 days before his demise in 2008, the shamed money year conceded to a crime accusation of requesting of including a minor and was condemned to 1.5 years in jail. He served 13 and was allowed work delivery, which permitted him to drive to an office outside the prison 6 days per week. He was likewise enrolled as a CS wrongdoer. On July 24, 2019, Epstein was apparently found harmed in his phone. Half a month after the fact, on August 10, he was found dead by a 4-each. The New York Times, and his passing is being explored by the FBI. Here is the authority proclamation in regards to his demise from the Government Department of Detainment Facilities on Saturday, August 10, 2019, at roughly 6:30 a.m. Prisoner Jeffrey Edward Epstein was tracked down lethargic in his phone in the Extraordinary Lodging Unit from an application at the Metropolitan Restorative Place in New York. New York life-saving measures were started promptly by answering staff mentioned crisis clinical benefits and life-saving endeavors proceeded with. Mr. Epstein was moved by EMS to a nearby medical clinic for therapy of perilous wounds and thusly articulated dead by emergency clinic staff. The FBI